There's no shortage of moon boys in the crypto space shouting about Doge to $1, SHIB to 1 cent. While it might seem like an obvious thing not to invest in coins purely because of price speculation, there seems to be a severe disconnect with so many people investing in these coins. So stick around and let's talk about it. Hey guys, I'm Sprague, and if you're anything like me, you are probably sick of hearing about how X coin is going to make all of its holders millionaires despite not having any actual utility. So in this video, I'm hopefully going to try and explain how you can pick smarter investments. But firstly, you should check out my video here about why I think price predictions are dumb, and if you know anything about me and my channel, you know the only thing I shill is myself. So if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Now, if you're just in the crypto space to make a quick buck, you have dreams of having a Lambo within the next year, and your top holding has a picture of a dog or a meme as its icon, you're probably not going to want to hear what I have to say. However, first I am actually going to debunk the usefulness of one of the most commonly used metrics for shitting on people's investments, and that's market cap, which is the cost of all currently circulating coins at the current price. This is commonly used to dispel any talk about a coin reaching a certain price by saying, oh, well, it would need to be this amount of market cap, but it doesn't actually speak anything of the coin's value. For example, currently, Bitcoin is, understandably, the largest coin in the market with a market cap of $1 trillion. Now, for SHIB to hit 1 cent, the market cap of SHIB would need to be $5 trillion, which is 5 times bigger than Bitcoin. So it's quite easy to see why people would use this value as a way to shut down SHIB holders by saying, well, SHIB is never going to be worth 5 times the amount of Bitcoin. But the problem is with the word worth, because what they are doing is applying market cap to mean the worthiness of a coin. But in actual fact, market cap and price have little to nothing to do with the coin's actual value. Market cap can wildly fluctuate on a short term just because of price pumps and dumps. For example, Doge went from a market cap of $89 billion all the way down to $29 billion in the span of 3 months. So if market cap was to actually mean value, that would mean that Doge has devalued itself somehow by $60 billion within a 3-month time frame. But this obviously isn't true though, because nothing changed with Doge in 3 months. Nothing new, nothing bad, just nothing happened in 3 months other than the hype dying down, which is why market cap is more of an indicator of hype when it comes to meme coins than it is of value. This means the price of a coin actually has nothing to do with the value of a coin, because the price could be over or undervalued depending on a number of factors. So in the case of Doge, this could mean that at 68 cents it was overvalued, or that at 22 cents it's undervalued, but in reality it's completely irrelevant. So, could SHIB hit 5 times the market cap of BTC? Yes, absolutely. All it would take is for enough people to believe there's still money to be made in SHIB, therefore increasing the price, for another person to come in and think there's value in SHIB and increase the price further. And because this is crypto, there doesn't actually need to be an increase in value proposition for people to believe that they can make money on a token. They just need to see the price going up and hear that they can make money from it. For example, when SHIB released SHIBSwap, it was almost immediately picked apart for having lax security, an unaudited smart contract, and just some shady business practices going on with the SHIB team behind the scenes. And yet, the price still went up because people didn't actually care enough to think, okay, is this new thing actually of greater value? They just saw there's a new thing, the price will go up, and therefore the price did go up. You can take ADA as a prime example of why price does not equal value. When smart contracts launched in September, most people in the ADA community believed that it was going to cause the price to go to the moon. The problem is, it actually made the price decrease. This suggests that actually the price of ADA was overvalued before the launch, and that people were just betting that Alonzo was going to let them get a return on their money, and when it didn't, they sold off. This suggests that the price of ADA was actually overvalued prior to smart contracts, and the only reason that there was stability is because people believed that Alonzo was going to let them see a return on their investments. So the takeaway is that value is a long-term thing. It takes a while to see any sort of return from a pick that has actually got good fundamentals. While short pumps can seem appealing at the time, you are effectively betting that you can time the market better than anyone else can. So now that I've said that SHIB could in theory hit 1 cent, would I personally invest in it? Absolutely not. Coins like Doge, SHIB, and SafeMoon have one purpose, and that is to get their holders rich. And while I think that the word Ponzi has been used in the crypto space far too frequently to describe things that are not Ponzi's, these meme coins actually kind of are analogous to Ponzi schemes. Let's use SafeMoon as our example because it is the most egregious example of nonsensical tokenomics. For those unaware, anytime a transaction is executed on SafeMoon, 10% of the transaction's value is taxed. 5% of that value goes back to the SafeMoon holders, and 5% goes to various other things like liquidity pools and the development team. So you might be thinking, well, that sounds great. As a holder, I can benefit not only from token appreciation, but also from passive income from other people transacting on the network. But the exact reason that it sounds promising is also the reason it's a completely nonsensical long-term investment. Why would you transact on SafeMoon if it's going to cost you 10% of the transaction volume? And if you've got no reason to transact on SafeMoon because of this tax, why would people buy the SafeMoon token in the first place? Purely just because of hype. SafeMoon, SHIB, Doge, Mona, they all serve one purpose, and that is to get newer investors in through just high amounts of shilling so that the early or the whales can make the most profit from them.
Oh, I get it now. It's a scam.
Going back to SafeMoon, as I said, 5% of every transaction is given back to SafeMoon holders. But it's not done fairly, it's done by how much the wallets hold. So if we take a look at a couple of SafeMoon whales, for example, we have this guy, who was lucky enough to get into SafeMoon 2 days before it pumped up to 11 microcents and bought in at just 8 nanocents. That means that he made an easy 149 times on his investment in 2 days, just because he got the drop on the price pump. And the thing is, if this whale was to sell his entire supply just now, he could fill the entire 24-hour trade volume of SafeMoon on his own. This would cause a complete price collapse for SafeMoon because the supply would just completely eclipse the demand. It might seem like I'm ragging on SafeMoon quite a lot here, but all of these meme coins are exactly the same. The people who've made the most money and are making the most money are the people who got in way before the shilling started. If you look at the whales for most of these tokens, none of them got in once the mainstream started to grab hold of it and try and push it to the forefront of everything, saying buy SHIB, buy Doge, buy Mona, it's going to the moon, you'll make 1,000 times, Lambos, everything. It just doesn't make sense. The people making the most money from this are the people who were there when the coin was either conceived or very early on in its development. And they are the only people who are making that sort of money. Everyone who gets in afterwards is just trying to ride the hype out, but the main profits have already gone. So, take a look at the holders of a token before you make any sort of investment in it. Most of this information is quite easily publicly available, and you can see when people actually received their funds. If the whales got in way before any sort of mainstream attention was given to that token, then you know that there is some insider stuff going on where people who stand to gain the most from it have also got in at the cheapest price and could therefore flood the market and still make an insanely hefty return. So when picking a token, look at the holders. If there is an unfair distribution or there is a large quantity of whales, then there better be a very good value proposition for you to consider investing your money in it. Which leads us on to value proposition. Because at the end of the day, the things you should be investing in are the things that have the most value. Let's take Bitcoin as an example. Bitcoin has horrendous distribution, high fees, slow development. So you might be asking yourself, why is Bitcoin the king when there are other coins that do what Bitcoin does, but far better? And to be honest, it's a fairly easy answer. Bitcoin did it first, and it's done it longer. When comparing coins, there's actually two fairly large metrics at play that can determine the success of that coin. One is time in the market, and two is community sentiment. In the case of Bitcoin, it was the first crypto, full stop. Not just the first to do what it does, but the first. That means that every coin on the market currently is a descendant of Bitcoin, whether that's because they've learned from something the way Bitcoin did it, or because they've decided to actively not do something Bitcoin did because they've realized that it could be done better. This means that Bitcoin's value is that it has proven itself. It has proven it can stand the test of time, and it is proven that it has value in the fact that people want it. So just ask yourself, why are you holding the coins you're holding? Or why are you considering buying a particular coin? Most people got into Doge because funny meme, haha. But once it actually started increasing in price, people tried to legitimize their investment by saying, well, it could be this, and it might be accepted here, and it could be used as the future of currency. But this was all just them trying to get other people into Doge so that they could experience the price increase that other people had already experienced. People originally got into SHIB because they looked at Doge and thought the price of Doge had gotten too high, and they wanted to find the new Doge that would allow them to make the same sort of return that Doge made its investors. The problem with SHIB is it's a clone of a clone of a clone. It does nothing new, it brings nothing new to the table, and it won't survive when you consider the fact that it has no value. The entire market right now is filled with a very get-rich-quick mentality, but the problem is that for every one person that does actually manage to time the peak and gets out and makes a huge profit, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people left holding the bag. The problem with meme coins is that they are cyclical, which means that the people that make profit from X shitcoin are going to move on to Y shitcoin and start the shilling cycle all over again, trying to sucker in more people to invest. And the thing is, this shilling can cause the price to pump and can cause some pretty nice returns. But at the end of the day, you're not investing. You're gambling against human nature. Let's say you buy SHIB right now. You're not investing in SHIB because you believe that there is some greater value coming down the line. You're investing in SHIB because you think the price will go up. And the only reason the price will go up is if someone else buys at a higher price thinking that there's going to be someone else who will buy at a higher price, and they'll buy thinking there's someone else. Repeat until the peak, where people stop believing it's worth any more money than it already currently is, and they stop buying. And then people start taking profits, and then more people take profits, until the price just plummets and dies. So the thing is, by all means, put some money into shitcoins. Just make sure that it's not more than a couple of % of your total crypto allocation, because realistically, you're gambling that you can time the top better than anyone else can. So at least if you keep your allocation of meme coins fairly low, you still stand to gain some profit, but you're not going to be left with a completely negative portfolio if you fail to time it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave me a like down below. If you disagree with me, I'm always up for a debate in the comments. And if you just generally enjoy my content, please consider hitting subscribe down below. Thanks, bye.